spoke about the power of whole grains for helping nourish and heal our lungs. So I'll go to the next food besides the whole grains that we already discussed. Healthy protein. The quality of protein is very essential for our lungs as well. There are certain beans, certain pulses which particularly nourish the lungs. One of them is horse gram. It is also called as kulut ki dal. This pulse is also known to be very good for kidneys and removing stones from the kidneys. It's used as a remedy in the villages and in ancient India for a very long time, including all pulses, basically kala chana, anything that's darker like kulut ki dal, kala chana, black soya beans, anything that has a little dark color to it basically means that it has more minerals in it. And when our body is weak, when the organs are weak, when the lungs are weak, we need a little more of the minerals to recreate the strength over a period of time. After all, the minerals, when we say minerals, we associate that with the structure of our body, which is our bones, right? And so a diet which is richer in minerals, and alongside we're not having foods which actually deplete minerals from our body or leach out minerals from our body, actually helps in the long run to not only build better bone health and nerve system health and teeth that we know of, but it actually builds stronger and more stable organ systems and the hormonal system as well. Including more and more leafy greens in your diet on a regular basis, on at least 4 to 5 times a week. Have it as a side dish, not necessarily raw, because raw is also sometimes difficult to eat. So yes, a little bit in raw salad is great, but also slightly cooked, like a quick stir fry for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and having like a warm leafy green dish is very nourishing for our lungs. Then our next food group would be again within the vegetables, but we will talk about for reducing the extra fat, for reducing the extra phlegm that is there in the lungs. We want foods that dissolve mucus in the body, and so foods which are more pungent in nature, for example ginger, mustard, as well as leafy greens. Some of the ones which are more mustard, like the mustard leafy greens, as well as mooli, which is white radish, red radish, and a lot of these vegetables have a slightly pungent quality, and so they literally create, take out the excess fat from the blood, as well as begin to melt out the extra mucus. But we have to be careful not to overdo the mucus melting foods. And so what we want to do is add back some nourishing, naturally sweet vegetables, which is we want to add back some carrots and pumpkin and our entire gourd family vegetables, from Karela, Lauki, Tinda, Tori, all of it. Because all of it is mildly sweet. Some of it is, of course, bitter, the bitter gourd, but a lot of these are mildly sweet, and they are fibrous and they're light and hydrating, and the combination of having mucus dissolving food, hydrating vegetables, as well as some naturally sweet vegetables like the carrot, onion, sweet potatoes, pumpkin helps to put together a nice combination which is great for our body. Then what also helps is fermented foods. So having foods which are lightly fermented is always very good for our gut. We have trillions of bacteria in our gut, and not all of them are good for us. So we need to constantly strive towards increasing the good bacteria, and that happens with fermentation, that happens with salt rather than without salt. So foods like our pickles, which are fermented with salt, are usually better for our gut and our digestion as well. So like brine pickles, the oilless traditional lemon pickle that we have, sauerkraut, which is a German cabbage pickle and is very nourishing for the gut as well. A combination of lovely nourishing foods, even quickly fermented vegetables, vegetables which you just ferment for about a day outside and have that. That's also very nourishing. A haldi pickle, because then you have a double effect. Haldi is good for its own purposes, turmeric is good for its own purposes, and you make a pickle of it. It has like this double effect of goodness for us. And also including more and more sprouts in our diet. However, for lung health, I wouldn't recommend having raw sprouts, but having them slightly steamed. So moong sprouts, moat sprouts, having them lightly steamed, sauteed, whatever you prefer, would make a very nourishing dish for lungs. So this is the combination of foods that we want to have for nourishing our lungs. A good variety of whole grains, a good variety of pulses, especially the darker colored ones, and as well as leafy green vegetables, mucus dissolving vegetables, and sweet and nourishing vegetables, fermented foods, and lightly warmed sprouts. And to that I would add, besides the food, which would really help, is also having hot beverages. So hot non-caffeinated beverages and soups also help nourish our lungs in a very good way. I hope that is helpful and you find value in this information.